As you know, I am a massive movie nerd because I talk about movies all the time, but I'm also a huge original score fan. I'm a massive fan of original scores. Specifically, like John Williams is my favorite film composer of all time. I love Ennio Morricone. I love Jerry Goldsmith and James Horner. Those are the composers that I grew up listening to in the 80s and the 90s. And I've always wanted to own full original scores. And I've kind of made it a bit of a point this year to try and get more original soundtracks on CD. Not necessarily on vinyl, but on CD. Because while I have compilations of certain things, like I've got a compilation of John Williams music on a 4-disc set, but I don't have the full scores, and I kind of wanted to get the full score of a certain film. So I've been looking, and I picked up a few. Like I showed in the last video that I picked up the Jerry Goldsmith score, the original score for Star Trek The Motion Picture, even though I already had some of those tracks on a compilation of Star Trek music. So I went online the other day and I was looking for specific soundtracks, and I went through Discogs, and Discogs, while they are available, they are of a higher price, and even if they are affordable price for the product, the shipping can sometimes be through the roof. So I went to eBay, and I was specifically looking for 3 soundtracks, which were John Williams soundtracks. Like I've showed it before. I've got the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom. It might be Last Crusade. I've got it framed on my wall. I also have the Rocky IV soundtrack on my wall in frame, but with the Rocky IV soundtrack, it's not necessarily just Vince Dakotah's music. Its majority of it is tracks, songs that were written specifically for that film, whereas I like to have the full orchestral score. I listen to film music all the time, and I found the 3 that I was looking for at a crazy price compared to how much some other sellers were asking for. And so I ordered those 3 and then thought, ooh, maybe I could find 3 other John Williams scores for a decent price. So I went onto the old eBay, found the 3 that I was looking for. The one of the sellers was selling it for £42, all 3 together, and there was another seller selling the same collection of soundtracks for £9, and I was just like, well, I'm not going to pay £43 for 3 CDs. However, I will pay £9 for 3 CDs. So I did. I ordered those as well. And while I was on eBay, I thought, there's 3 more soundtracks that I want from John Williams. Shall I have a look? And I've managed to find all 3 in a buy 3, get 1 free offer from World of Books. So I ordered 4 soundtracks. So I've got 9 John Williams scores and 1 non-John Williams score, but for me, probably the best score of the 90s. So I'll show that one first, and it is the score for Independence Day by David Arnold. I listen to this all the time. The track on this, the end credits track actually, is so incredible. Like I love this score. Like this score is so good. Like I said, I listen to it all the time through Spotify and through discs that I have made from downloading tracks from years ago and stuff like that. But yeah, so Independence Day by David Arnold. This was essentially the free one from the 3 for well, buy 3 get a 4th for free offer. So I now have Independence Day, the full score. The only problem is, can you hear that? Some of the cases came and they were a little smashed up, as you can see, but for the sake of being free, I can just replace the case, no issue whatsoever. And I found that a few of these cases also had some chips, and like the little jewel case arms had snapped, but they're easily replaceable. Majority of these, well, a few of these are actually still sealed. So yeah, so Independence Day, the original score by David Arnold. The next David Arnold score I need to get is the score he did for Stargate, which he did for Roland Emmerich just before Independence Day. So Independence Day was like 1996. Stargate was released in 1994. So yeah, so Stargate's the next David Arnold score that I need. David Arnold's a great composer, really underrated. And then we get to the first of 3 John Williams scores of the 9. So the first one is, now you can bet, like, there's 9 John Williams scores here. You can probably guess what they are. So the first one is Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And yeah, again, I've got tracks from The Phantom Menace on the John Williams compilation CD, but I was just like, I need the full score. And it comes with the book as well. So yeah, Phantom Menace, this and the other 3, well, the other 2 in the prequel trilogy were the ones that I paid £9 for. So yeah, so these are like Duel of Fates on this one is fantastic, absolutely cracking score. A lot of really good John Williams music on the Phantom Menace, and obviously to follow up Phantom Menace with Attack of the Clones. Not the best Star Wars film, I will say that, but it does have a piece of music on this called Across the Stars, which is one of my favourite pieces of John Williams music. It is the love theme between Anakin and Padme. It's track number 2 on here after the Star Wars main theme. As you can see, is a bit of a crack on the back. But the discs seem to be in really good condition. Will not play on a PC or Mac. So Star Wars Attack of the Clones. And rounding off the Star Wars prequel trilogy is Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, the final duel scene. What's it called? Not the Birth of Twins. Anakin versus Obi-Wan, I think it is during the lightsaber battle on Mustafar with you were supposed to be the chosen one. I loved you like a brother, Anakin. Yeah, so John Williams' score for Star Wars Episode 3, The Revenge of the Sith. Again, as you can see, this one has got a chipped case arm, but the disc is fine. The disc is absolutely perfectly fine. It's still got the inlay. Just need to replace the case, and it's all good in the hood. So yeah, so that's the 3 that I've got. That's the prequel trilogy in soundtrack form. And those are the ones I paid £9 for. I think it was 99p shipping. So altogether, 10 quid. Cannot go wrong for that. Then these are the ones that I paid 14 quid for. Now you can probably guess what ones these are. These are I think these are the Special edition Star Wars Trilogy editions. Special edition Star Wars Trilogy edition. These are, I think they're all 2-disc. Yes, they are all 2-disc. Yeah. I think these were released when the 1997... Yeah, so these were released when the 1997 special editions came out. Now, I wanted the newer ones, but they were 15 quid a pop. So I decided to have a look to see if I could find some previous releases of the soundtracks. So this is the score for Star Wars A New Hope. This is obviously John Williams again. We all know the music from Star Wars A New Hope. That first time ever hearing the main title, the Blockade Runner, Imperial Attack. So there's stuff on this is previously unreleased, which I did not know about. So I'm going to give these a bit of a blast at some point over the next couple of days. And so Star Wars A New Hope, the 30th? No, not 30th. The 1997 special editions, which I'm guessing this would be the 20th anniversary, because it was 77 that it came out. So that's A New Hope. Obviously, I said it was 3, so we followed that up with The Empire Strikes Back. Again, the 1997 special edition. 2 discs. Get this out now. Oops. Losing the disc. Discs are absolutely pucker. Not an issue at all. There we go. So we have 2 discs. The inside case is a bit dodgy. I mean, the disc fell out then. But again, like, this was the soundtrack that featured, I think it is the first time we hear Yoda's theme and Luke and Leia's theme from the next one are my favourite pieces of Star Wars music from the original trilogy. The next one also has my other favourite piece of music from the original trilogy. So yeah, there we go. So that is The Empire Strikes Back on CD. Music composed and conducted by John Williams. And then we finally end that one with the Return of the Jedi 1997 special edition. Again, this is another 2-disc, as you can see. And yeah, it's cracking. So 14 quid for the 3 of them, and 99p shipping as well. This is actually my favourite score of all 3 original Star Wars films. This has, like I just said, my 3rd favourite piece of music, which is, I think it's the Asteroid Belt it's called. Yeah, I think it's called the Asteroid Belt. It's got some archival bonus tracks, and I don't know if it's got. I don't think it's got the original music from the end of the theatrical versions of this. When they changed, like George Lucas changed it at the end, changed the music like he did at the beginning of this film as well. With when they put the stupid Sice Noodles in, is it Sice Noodles? I can't remember now. The song. But yeah, so Return of the Jedi. So now I have the original trilogy soundtracks and the prequel trilogy soundtracks in their entirety on compact disc, on CD. So, being in the zone, I was like, even though I'm not a fan of Disney's, well, I say I'm not a fan of Disney's Star Wars movies, it's more Star Wars. I don't hate them. I have issues with them, but I don't hate them. So I was like, even though like I'm not a huge fan of these films, I am a huge fan of John Williams. So I had to get The Force Awakens original score. There is nothing on the reverse of this, so I don't know whether or not this was possibly a promo release. I'm not sure. But yeah, so The Force Awakens. Then we have The Last Jedi, which is not in a jewel case, but one of these cardboard sleeves. Again, this has nothing on the back, so there's no track listing or anything. In fact, there's no track listing at all. You have to pull out a poster? No, a booklet. So there's a booklet inside that I'm assuming gives you the track listing. Or is it just photos? Oh no, there it is. Yeah, so there's the track listing. Just on the inside, in the middle. Again, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the movies, but I am a huge fan of his scores. So, yeah, that's why I picked them up. And finally, obviously, the worst of the Disney ones is The Rise of Skywalker. Again, like I said, not a huge fan of the Disney trilogy, but a huge fan of John Williams' music. So I'm glad that these are now in the collection. I'll tell you what Disney did do correct. This is one thing that they've done right. Is they've got all the spines to line up fantastically. So yeah, so that's quite a interesting purchase that I've been trying to get. I know I talk about physical media and stuff on here, but I'm mostly about films and film music and how films are shot, and physical media does play a big part in that. But at the end of the day, there are hundreds of physical media channels that talk about new releases. They do pickups and stuff, and I do pickups myself. This is a pickup video. I've still got some Blu-rays to go through, and yeah, so there's, I don't want to just focus entirely on physical media. I want to focus on film in general. So anything that is film related. So obviously Blu-ray and 4K and DVD and stuff. And then music CDs, like scores play a big part in the movie, in how a movie comes together. So I want to just focus on that. So I mean, if the videos don't get a huge amount of views, it's not the end of the world for me. I'm like, my last video was an hour long, and it was me re-ranking Tarantino movies, and it took ages to get over 300 views. I think it's at 350 something views now, and I'm not really bothered. I can't expect people to sit there and listen to me waffle for an hour about Tarantino movies. But I like movies. I love movie music. And that's what I kind of want to do this year, is try and get more soundtracks as a whole and not have to listen to them through a compilation album. So this brings me to the Blu-ray pickups and taking advantage of the 2 for 15 offers in HMV. So I think it was the Powerhouse last month. The month before that was the Premium Collection, and this month is the Studio Canal Vintage and Cult Collections, which are on the 2 for 15. There's also a 2 for 22 on Radiance releases at the moment in HMV. So I picked up 2 of the Studio Canal pictures, which I've been picking up now and then. And the first one is a film I have seen, but I watched a very, very long time ago, and I'm a huge World War II movie fan. So I really wanted to just see this in a new restoration, because I can't remember a lot about it, but it is the Dam Busters from, I want to say 1954. Yeah, there we go. The Dam Busters from 1954. Like I said, it's been many, many years since I've seen this film, so I can't really remember a huge amount about it. What is it? It's 126 minutes long. It has a brand new restoration, and I think this was from 2018. This release, I think it's 2018. So this is a good 7 years old, but it does say it's got a brand new restoration. I don't know if it's from a 4K or if it's a 2K or not, but I will definitely be giving this a rewatch. I watched Force 10 from Navarone the other day, thoroughly enjoyed it, but it made me miss the days of the World War II adventure movie that wasn't necessarily based on an actual event that happened in World War II. But it just made me miss those like Kelly's Heroes, The Dirty Dozen, and The Secret Invasion. Even something like The Longest Day or A Bridge Too Far, films that were made about a specific moment during World War II, but the huge budget, big, like star-studded cast World War II films. I mean, you could look at the films that come out now. Films like, I say come out now, it came out 28 years ago or 27 years ago. Something like Saving Private Ryan. It's a war movie. It's a men on a mission movie, but it's too realistic. It's a fantastic movie. Absolutely fantastic movie. Same with The Thin Red Line. Again, that's another like big star-studded World War II film. But whereas something like A Bridge Too Far is a lot of fun, even though it tackles a serious subject, something like The Thin Red Line I find is a bit too dull, if you will. I know people love that movie. I'm not a huge fan of it. I prefer The Big Red One, or like I said, Saving Private Ryan. But the last time we had a proper World War II adventure film, and I wouldn't even class it as an adventure film, but like in that sort of vein, was Inglourious Basterds. And even that has moments of art house compared to something from the 1970s or 1960s where you follow a group of soldiers on a mission behind enemy lines. Like there's one called Too Late the Hero with Michael Caine, where it's about a group of commandos, British commandos in the Philippines who are against the Japanese. Again, these films, like, they just don't get made anymore. The high adventure World War II film. The closest we've got, and I know it is based on actual fact and written accounts and stuff, is SAS Rogue Heroes on BBC, which the first series is very much sort of that kind of, I don't know, it's it feels more like a docudrama in the first series, but the second series, which I watched last week, feels more like Band of Brothers, where it has serious moments, but it has a sort of sense of fun. I know Band of Brothers is a very serious mini-series, but there is a sort of sense of fun to it. It's an odd way to describe Band of Brothers. But yeah, so looking forward to watching the Dam Busters again. Well, I say again, for the first time again, maybe? So yeah, there was that one. The second one that I picked up on the Studio Canal 2 for 15 is one of their cult classic releases from 1973. It is The Final Program, directed by Robert Faust. Robert Faust, with John Finch and Jenny Runacre, Sterling Hayden. Sterling Hayden's great. Patrick McGee and Graham Crowden. I have seen this, but it's been a very long time. I think I downloaded a copy of this a few years back and watched it and didn't really remember a huge amount about it, but for 2:15, it was a toss-up between this or Ice Cold in Alice and The Third Man. And I watched The Third Man the other night via other means and thoroughly enjoyed it, but I don't know if it was one that I wanted to chuck into the collection. So I decided to go with this one. It was a toss-up between this one, Ice Cold and Alex, The Third Man, Night of the Eagle, which I have seen and I've got on DVD. It's a fantastic occult thriller. And From Earth to the Moon, I think it was. But I decided to go with the final program because it is a dystopian sort of end of the world type of movie, and as you know, it's my favourite subgenre of science fiction. So I went for this one. Gonna give this a try. It comes in a nice slipcase, so yeah. See if I can remember much about this when I watch it. So that's the final program. And because there are still a few of the premium collection releases that I want. I've noticed that HMV have been doing a select few on $7.90 for $7.49 when you buy any other when you make any other purchase. So I picked up alongside the two Studio Canal releases, Superfly starring Ron O'Neill. This is from 1974. Sorry, 1972. And I've always been told that this film is really good. So I love a bit of blaxploitation. I've got a copy of Truck Turner just over there with Isaac Hayes. I've got Kofi and Foxy Brown on the Arrow releases. I do love a bit of blaxploitation. I used to own the Kino Lorber release of Hell Up in Harlem, I think it is. I used to own it. I don't own it anymore because my Region A Blu-ray player decided it didn't want to work anymore. But yeah, so looking forward to checking this out. Ron O'Neill, recently watched Ron O'Neill in Red Dawn, which I also have on the 4K, which looks pucker. And yeah, so these are the three that I've picked up. This is number 128 in the premium collection. And yeah. So that's my pickups for the week. So the CDs and the Blu-rays. I know this was more focused on the CDs, but at the end of the day, they are still physical media. So my name is Pedro, and this is Pedro's Movie Cavern. I had a bit of an accident the other day. I accidentally knocked my my tall, what do they call it, tripod, and not my tall tripod, which is normally next to the side of me, that had my ring light on the top, and it toppled back and snapped the ring light, so I don't have the ring light anymore, so I can't change it to purple or blue. So I'm currently using my little clip-on 2 pound lamp from One Below, or was it Poundland? I can't remember. It was one of those to light it. And yeah, so I'm a bit of a sad guy, so I need to buy a new ring light. And yeah, there we go. That's the video. Nothing really exciting. Just thought I'd share with you my my pickups for the week. It's Monday, so for this week, I guess, because I'm not going to be buying any more this week. And thank you everyone for watching. As usual, my name is Pedro. I'm gonna give you throw up the peace sign, give you a salute, and tell you that I am out. Thanks everyone. Cheers. Have a good one.